Visions of Sirius. The Road to Peace. About my travel to Sirius. I'd like to tell you about my travel to Sirius. Sirius is one of the brightest stars in the sky we know about yet. It's located in the constellation of the Big Dog, Canis Major. It was while I was laying in bed, between openness and sleep, that a mighty hand pushed my spirit up, and I felt myself sliding into a tunnel of very bright energies. A voice said to me, I would be going to Sirius to have some sights over there, about the nature of it. I felt very light, but at the same time very heavy. Geographical pain transformation. Now the voice spoke to me about the fact that Sirius was built by a lot of pain. I could feel this pain, and I saw that this pain was also stored on Earth. I remembered this pain, and actually I was feeling how close Earth is to Sirius. I found out again that pain is a creative force. I already knew about the Sirius people, who are very often incarnating into India and countries in the neighborhood there. I also knew about the sources of dolphins and whales, which can be found on Sirius. Anyway, this voice told me that Sirius is about geographical pain transforming. Pain was necessary to build the planets, to build Earth. The tornadoes of rejection, and the sea of individuality. I was first picked up by a bunch of tornadoes, which represented rejection. It didn't hurt me, because I felt its creative power. I was pulled up high by these enormous tornadoes and came in touch with water, the bottom of a sea or ocean. I felt these tornadoes produced this water by their speed spinning, and I heard and felt this sea was called individuality. The sea of individuality and the pillars of memories. It's because of rejection, rejected feelings, that people are thrown at themselves as individuals. Then the group feeling has gone, and people have the freedom to look into themselves to find their own identity. By being rejected, your self parts become visible, and I saw this causes memories. Being in a group, you can lose yourself at times, and even losing your own memories, your own worth, your own works and results. By separation, the experience of your own part in the plan becomes clear. It can open your senses for real, and I saw, while floating higher, these pillars of little drops coming from the big sea, which was carried by the tornadoes. And these small pillars of drops were pillars of memories, which were carrying another sea. The sea of misinterpretation. This sea carried by these pillars was a sea of misinterpretation and confusion. This sea was very bright, and I saw dolphins and whales swimming in it, but the voice said, be careful. These creatures were spirits of false truth and prejudicing, and spirits of chaos. They are attracted to people when they find their memory and their selves back, and they want to make their own art with these pieces of consciousness. I was told to hold myself back, but also to respect this sea, because it was a part of the creation, a part of the plan of creation. This sea was a creative force in the hands of God. The creation of a new island. And I was remembering myself that being misinterpreted and prejudiced, coming into confusion, is actually a way to let us desire after the truth. And I saw an island growing and growing in the middle of this sea, an island of truth, an island of wisdom. It was being created by the waves of this sea, and so I was told to respect this process. Truth can only grow in chaos and pain, because then there is really a cry for it. Truth is really needed then, and will be recognized and honored. New dangers. Now it is actually true that on this island there are new dangers. When people start to see the truth, pride can show up. I saw trees and monkeys on this island, and the voice told me to be aware. It was the enemy of pride and religion, ready to put my new truth into their boxes. Humanity loves to control truth, to use it to feed their own ego, but God showed me another way. I had to respect this forest of pride as a creative power to make me humble. When people of pride come to you, they can come hard and leave hard. I don't know about you, but in my life I have met these people who really can force you to do or believe their things, and it can deeply upset you. It puts you down, it takes you away from your own pedestals, your own thrones, and you see yourself falling down at times under these pressures. But it is a creative power, dear people. It makes us humble and careful. We lose our self-made crowns, our paper walls. I know that this is the way God works. If we sit on too high thrones, He will send a dictator with a big mouth to pull us down and saves us from the pits of hell where all the proud ones live. It is God's grace which sent that man, that woman, that horrible boss to teach us some lessons to bring us to our rightful place. The forest ice. In this bright forest I saw a mass of ice, raising up, the ice of humiliation. In this land of ice I saw a little box rising, a metallic box, which represented growth, tightness and depth. You see, if we bow down under the mighty hand of God, under the mighty hand of all possible situations, we will take deep roots, and we will stand firm. Because then God can mold us like He wants, and He knows what is the best for us, doesn't He? This box of metal radiated rays of silver, gold, and other pure substances, but on these rays I saw a football field appearing. I saw aggressive people playing football there. You see, if God gives new things, the devil will come to test it, and to abuse it, for his own goals. Wars in games and in sports are nothing but rage actions of Satan to destroy the little fruits of God, which he planted in our hearts. If the fruits are really good, the wasps stand on the sideline, ready to attack. I saw these footballers running after the ball, in speed for money, honor and might. Such a little ball is very attractive for them, desirable to do with it what they want. This is a symbol for this age. People fight about it, yell and scream. The little statue from India. To make a long story short, after all, these little and big wars call upon the peace of heart, the patience in life, which we need so desperate. The harder the wars, the louder this cry. And in the middle of this field of grass, I saw a tiny little statue, with 4 arms rising. It was golden, and it looked like it was from India. The statue had a pointed little hat, and it represented eternity, patience, rest and contentment. It was saying, by patience all emotions are being cleansed. Commander Sirius about the fall of Atlantis. Reimplantation of the Sirius chip, and discussing the original Atlantean anatomy. The body would become a mess by denying polarity. The power and secret of the body is the ability to switch over Commander Sirius. The green crystal planet. The population of your Earth contains people with only a few knowledge about the space and the sky of existence and life. But there are also people planted on your Earth with much knowledge about what is going on. These people are the crystals of the Earth, downloading a lot of preparation and guidance into the streams of the Earth, which will be led to the right people. I am here to tell you about planetary history, planetary survey, and also the position and history of your Earth in this frame. I want you to know that many of your people have a certain chip in their heads to receive the Sirian signals to bring this Earth in maturity. The lusts of nature to survive are screaming for help in too many heads, but unfortunately there are too many who have their mechanisms to quench these cries. In the Blue Sun Project, Sirius will have an important place to awaken the schemes and user directions of nature back into the hearts of man. We are in direct contact with our mother planet, called the Green Crystal. This planet still vitalizes your nature day by day, but her cry goes softly through the Earth streams, looking for open hearts she can work with. Lost technologies and body functioning. It is my purpose to tell you about the Sirius chip. Some of you have waited for this for a long time. I will lead you in the process to download this chip into your life and into your Earth. My ways are pure, for I came not for my own good, but for the good of nature. In this I will also serve myself. To serve nature is to serve yourself, for you are a part of nature. The codes of nature have been replaced by dark codes, and I will explain you these processions, also for the restoration of the original codes. These codes can be found in the superlatives of the polarities in nature, called the ultra-zones, or ultras. By possessing these zones, the Atlantans, your foreparents, could live much longer than the ages people reach today. The corruptive aliens limited the time zones of life step by step, until they reached the present time zones, in which people can only reach the age of 80 to 120, usually. While the Atlantans in Earth's history could reach ages of 1000 and 2000, and the early Atlantans could reach ages of 10.000 and 20.000 on Earth. It looked more like the ages of trees. This because they knew how to maintain their cell youths, how to recode the polarities and balances of nature in the superlatives. I want to give you a survey of these systems. The Atlantans could use these as in biological clocks to balance and maintain these systems in circuits. For example, DNA repatterning, cell repatterning, atom and quarks repatterning the parts of an atom in quantum technology, which is the repatterning of the smallest parts. Aura repatterning, AGT repatterning ancestral giant tablets, and sphere repatterning in Mycosine technology, which is the repatterning of the biggest parts. The repatterning of the hardest parts, called Toto-Iota technology. The repatterning of the softest parts, called Serdotican technology. So in all polarities of nature, there were technologies to control, develop and protect these, which were functioning as crystals of armor, and lust to survive. The Sirius chip was therefore suprapolarization, reaching for the ultra-zones, in all poles, suprabalance, and supra-control. This system took much study and labor, so that some started to complain. This is why the Orions came in disguise to develop a fast astrologian system, and a non-polarity system, in which they could weaken the brains, and the flexibility, this to gain limited study and labor. One started to forget about the poles, imagining them all as one, so that they didn't need their polarity factories anymore. In this, the Orions could take away several most necessary functions out of the body step by step, which resulted in a limited age for human beings. The cells started to lose their protection shields against aging. If they would see non-polarity as the emptiness everything comes from, and everything goes to, then polarity would grow inside as nature's creativity and transformational force. But people started to destroy all polarity with the sword of non-polarity. They wanted peace and rest for a high price. Nature's miscarriage. The fall of Atlantis. By this, the Orions could eject the Sirius chip out of the minds of Atlantis, and they brought it into their temples as a way to plunder and enslave some Sirian realms. By this, many wars started between Orion and Sirius. Some Sirians chose the side of Orion, and began to fight their own brothers and sisters. Till today there are many wars, and our purpose is to bring the Sirius chip back into the minds of man, but this will only be a group of true ascenders, who want to go to the roots of Atlantis. The lost electric bones and glands. Throughout the Atlantan body, there were several electric bones to function it as a gateway to the different poles of nature in body, through which you could plug into many sources/vibes of nature to keep you alive. But after the erasing of polarity, these electric bones were disappearing. Only a few electric bones, like the Cossacks bone below elbow BBE, etc. remained. Imagine the lost electric bones, and the ones which remained in a circle, and let it spin as fast as you can. Swallow a couple of times, as sign that you swallow these bones again. They will look for the right location and position in your body. Trust them, that they will know to find their way. Then start to shake and rock your body a bit to let the energies enter. Do realize that Atlantis had way more glands than you have in your bodies today. The whole set-up of the Sirius chip will also give strong impulses into different places in the body to develop the functions, vibrations and characters of the lost Atlantan glands in your body. This will awaken new fluids, electricity and hormones in your body within new vibrational frames coming from karmatic matrices, which determine the grade of the materialization inside. Every true ascender will get a unique treatment in this. It all depends on inner motivations, personal purpose and planning, which serves the higher goals of creativity. The rules in this are never simple, for there are many factors which will measure the results. The water glands were spread throughout the Atlantan body to balance the water and temperature regulation. When someone started to get dry or to develop too much fat or muscle mass, the healing waters would be produced to transform these dangers and to keep a person flexible. The forest glands were there to develop Atlantans into the healing abilities of trees, plants and flowers as a way to balance, for example, the sugar regulation in a very effective way. These glands could release nectars, honey tree hormones, and all sorts of botanic fluids to keep the oxygen fresh, and even to develop oxygen from inside out, which was the reason why some Atlantans could live underwater, and others could be underwater for a very long time. This is why they were called the fish people. The sea glands were very refined in some Atlantans so that they could live underwater because of having the abilities of the fish, having gills and glands, transforming or sifting water into oxygen. This is where many stories about mermaids and mermen are coming from, for they really lived plenty on Earth in the Atlantan ages. The sky glands could also produce many oxygens and gases besides bird abilities to make people fly. Bird people were on Earth these ages. The bodies of these people were much more refined than the others, and much lighter because of these glands. These glands gave people the ability to develop wings and feathers. The sexual glands were placed throughout the whole body, giving the Atlantans more. The sexual glands were placed throughout the whole body, giving the Atlantans more sexual abilities than the people have today. There were many ways to sexual satisfaction and releasement, and more ways to be free from sexual addictions. There were better and more circuits of inner sexual independency and self-satisfaction without depending on the other. There was more freedom and more space to discover and develop the own personality and self. Astral sexuality and spiritual sexuality within and with the gods/goddesses could have access by these very important glands. This is one of the main parts of the Sirius chip, for it also keeps the wheel of birth and growth pure. By the wrong or limited forms of sexuality, the wrong sort of entities will incarnate on Earth or infiltrate in our realms to maintain the purposes of evil conspiracies from outer space. The animal glands, ways to mutate with animals to possess their abilities. The study of animals was very important for the Atlantans these days, for it opened and developed these glands to do their work. The solar and planetary glands or astral glands, glands from specific planets, suns or systems to produce the planetary fluids, vibrations and hormones within, in inner circuits. These were gifts from several planetary spheres and realms to Earth, pieces of planets growing in people, instead of only an influence from outside. Sometimes a human being donated some body tissues to a certain planet for research, further development and deeper connection. There was also a system of seed donation and other sexual fluids donation to several planets to mix several life forms together and to maintain and deepen the contacts. The Sirius chip wants to refine and stimulate this donation process in a pure way to serve true and righteous planetary evolution. Astral donors will be praised and protected against the evil and manipulative forms of donorship. The polarity glands, these glands were releasing the different poles which nature needs to work in the body, like speed, slow motion, density, tightness, etc., all in the form of high hormonal fluids, powders and impulses by streams and pulsations. the body would become a mess by denying polarity. The power and secret of the body is the ability to switch over. These glands form the body's switchboard, the creative and flexible source to survive life, but the non-polarity swallowed it all away. The character glands, inner circuits of pride and honor, to detach oneself from dependency, and to plug into the sky glands, as an extra booster. Inner circuits of guiltiness and innocence, etc. All to serve and empower the body functions. To maintain the balance, also by forming a good break. These glands function very often as sub-glands, as little motors, attached to other glands. Dolphinian alphabets, a letter to you. Dolphinian stairways, Dolphinian breathing, Dolphinian pain. Translation, downloading the Dolphinian chip. Dolphinian stairways. Between the poles the stairways exist. Every step is important, for these form the alphabet of the dolphins. Between ice and heat the stairway of temperature exist. The steps form the temperature alphabet of the dolphins. Every step, every degree, is important. Between heaviness and lightness a stairway exists, the language of weight. Dolphins. Every step is important, every step is beautiful, holding one special letter of the Dolphinian language. Between hardness and softness, a stairway lies. The steps form the language. Without these poles, the stairway wouldn't exist. Dolphinian alphabet of density. Between littleness and greatness, a tall ladder. Language of height. Dolphins' creativity. Watch the child when it grows, watch the flower when it blooms, all steps are important, all steps are beautiful. Watch the dolphins communicate, they use all poles of nature. Their creativity has no borderlines. Always searching for new horizons. Between the lake and the shore, between the sea and the beach, a fragile ladder of moistness exists. Between the light and the dark, a piano stands. A dolphin is playing it. Dolphinian language of light, every key is important, every step to take is precious octave, in their music, watching all the colors, as a precious bridge of nature's language, seducing you to widen your own bridges. To reach new coasts, to touch new islands. To watch over the edges of your poles, bathing in deeper polarities. Reaching for deeper forms of communications, for deeper Dolphinian contact. Looking for the key to someone's life, touching someone there where no one could reach. Releasing someone's true self-substances. The Dolphinian alphabets are infinite. Without begin and without end. Always splitting the letters into refined keys to emphasize a certain important heartstring to bring a deeper. The Dolphinian alphabets are infinite. Without begin and without end. Always splitting the letters into refined keys to emphasize a certain important heartstring to bring a deeper vibration inside. Millions of different sounds, tones and accents develop the warmth of a dolphin, embracing you like a blanket. The secret of a refined soundboard. Between the dolphins the poles play. There is healing for the poles, and Dolphinian pole repatterning, for we need the poles to create. We need the different poles to be able to move. The Dolphinian switchboards drive our muscles by polarizing our nerve systems. Between thickness and thinness a string hangs, opening and releasing the deepest senses of nature. It's the language of the dolphins, coded in their voices and vibes. The language of contents. Between speed and slow motion, another string hangs coded and weaved in the vocal cords of the dolphins, repatterning nature. Tempo languages. Between the poles we grow. The poles are our creators, our gods and goddesses, but we made our own images, in our minds, our own poles, which need to be repatterned. Dolphinian breathing. Between the poles we breath. The trick of the magnetic switchboard. By breathing we travel from one pole to the other, feeding ourselves by the poles. Our sources. Dolphinian breathing, the force of language, different patterns between the pole, telling different tales. Dolphinian creativity. We feel the poles of unity and separation, the poles of oneness and individuality. Different rhythms between the poles create different relationships, different forms of contact, all to serve the awakening of nature. This is how we evolve. We will always create our opposites, for this is the law of attraction. When we hold on to one pole, the other pole will be stirred up. This all to serve the law of balance. We will always attract our opposites. They are there to serve nature, to keep everything in order. When you push one pole, the other pole will show up. When you touch something, it will always touch the opposite. This is the law of energy conduction. This is the game of the poles. Nature never forgets about you, it just teases you a bit to stir up your inner files. Dolphinian pain translation. Between soft and sharp a flower grows, a rose, telling you that the softest petals were created by the sharpest thorns. In the sharpest wilderness, you will find the whitest rose. Your softest clothes, for the rest of your life. Between deep and high, a jester jumps out, transforming your life's problems. Don't be scared when he brings everything in the depth again. It will only push you higher. Between pain and pleasure the lightning rushes, the pain shows you pleasure, and the pleasure shows you pain. Until you see the face of the dolphin, trying to connect you by using material of memories to paint its personal messages to you. Between the poles, languages arise. Only to connect you to a long-forgotten history. These polarity languages will repeat themselves until you are reconnected, and then they will be transformed into other ways of communication. Problems are nothing but undiscovered histories, continuously repeating themselves until we recognize them. They are our masked friends from past lives, knocking at our doors until we realize it's them. They don't cause our pains. But these pains reflect the broken connections and the unfulfilled desires. We miss them. Only consciousness will reconnect us to them. Pains past communications, reaching the shores of our present lives. Someone wants to continue the conversation. They dress themselves in our present relationships and images, in our present circumstances. They don't cause the problems, they use them. Pains are materials of Dolphinian language. This is a good way for transformation. These grids of pains are the Dolphinian screens to show us history. These grids of pleasures. These pleasures are old. Old connections. By diving through the grid of pleasure, you will feel the hand of an old friend. By diving through the grid of pain, you will feel the other hand of this friend. By moving these grids, different layers of history can speak to you, like skipping canals on a television. Downloading the Dolphinian chip. The poles are the grids, the Dolphinian screens. All the steps between them are also grids. Dolphinian screens. Together they form the Dolphinian crystal, the bearer of information, which is the Dolphinian crystal microchip, which needs to be downloaded into the spine to spin while climbing up and down to regulate, repattern and recode the nerve systems and the senses. After a while it will nestle itself in the coccyx to enter the different layers of DNA to do its work. It will stir up the vibrations and functions of the Atlantan electric bones in the different dimensional layers of the body to work its way to the best and proper materializations within the karmatic grids of life. This all to awaken the suprapoles for even more powerful creations. The distances between the poles determine the contents and impact of the creative forces. In this process the crystal will look for a way to awaken and open up the Atlantan glands to achieve higher levels in balance and inner control. It will also weave itself through the nerves to awaken the Atlantan nerve systems, the Atlantan nerve fluids, and powders by stimulating the nerve knots to release old, stored pains and pleasures, which can be transformed in the body. Also the muscles will be stimulated to do this by programmed contractions, stretchings and relaxations. The pole switchers will do this. The pole switchers will awaken the sensitivity again, which will give control back with the ability to open and close the body senses and parts, which is an important base and impulse for releasement and transformation. When the Dolphinian pole switchboard is activated, it can give you chills, little shocks and shivers, but this is all to wake up your inner selves, your vibrational Dolphinian pole bodies, to bring you in higher levels of ascension. Your electric pole bodies will be activated while the vibrations between the poles get higher and faster. Then also the bodies between the poles can appear. They will be the channel chains for high Dolphinian energy, which can give the abilities to develop high Dolphinian communication, which is a base for many advanced planetary populations. Learn to switch over from one pole body to the other as a sort of language of life. There are so many things which want to express themselves through you. Don't repress them. They are your own parts brought to you to let you survive life. They are the letters of the Dolphinian alphabets. And remember, creativity was always the best way of communication and the base for contact. It helped preventing misunderstanding and useless wars. Creativity, communication, contact, always the Dolphins code and circle. 2004. Dolphinian healing sea cocoon Dolphins prayer I. Line of hyphens. The sea cocoon, here I come, I can hear your heartbeat. I am a dolphin, my energy is in layers around the globe. I have waited so long for this, now I'm getting ready to touch the heart of the earth, to bring it all deeper to the storage of the earth's liver. Earth liver, I'm coming through, speaking to you. I have a voice, my channels here, a tube of energy, guiding the tones where they must be. My tones so high and low, to set the captives free. Let me guide you to the island, my dears. I will speak to you. You don't have to be afraid. I will recode your nerves. Plant the water tree in you. The dolphin's fountain. Like living waters. I come to you. I break through. Do you see my smile? It's all over you. I'm hiding you away. Bringing you to new lights, to Dolphinian lights. There's nothing to fear. Here I come, like a new heartbeat, nestling myself into your liver, to store new waters, and lights of the Dolphinian skies, and the Dolphinian earths. I have waited for you. Please respond to me, or I will slowly die, and fade away. I need you. Like you need me. I give you breath. To survive the future. And to let you hide in the past. Will guide you to the treasures of the past. To transform them as a new healing to you. I gave the keys in history. In this, your future will be safe. I find the stairways in your body to descend, to find you in your deepest pains, the bottoms of your pits I will touch. I love you, dear fellow creature. Let us recreate each other. I admire you. And only want to give you more. Let me embrace you with my soul wings, give me a body. You can do it. Give me space. Give me breath. Let me live. I live in deep seas. But I also want to live in you. And deeper in the earth. Then I will pick up the lights of Venus to transform them, to absorb them, and by that transforming the earth. You need me. And I need you. Here I come. I am your heart, I am you. I am your heart, I am your liver, the storage of a new world. Enter your future now, and see your past transformed. I have found you, I am proud of you. Please digest my words to you, so full of energy. Waiting to embrace you. Waiting to guide you. Let me install my care for you. I will be your guard, if you let me. I will stir up my strong healing winds, above the waters. To send them to your heart. If you respond to me, I will let your brains bubble. To let you forget about the things which don't matter. There's a bigger world inside. See what the past has given to you. History is stored in your liver. And I can release and transform it. I can give you ancient wisdom. And I can bring you from integration to transformation in Dolphinian healing. My voice is warm. My voice is cold. And it switches to raise my powers. To send them to you. If you let me in. If you take the time to develop our connection. Don't give up when you don't feel me. Don't give up when you don't hear me. We must give it time by developing our love and trust. We must give it time to let it find its ways. The communication must grow. It's like building a tall bridge. Let us believe in each other. Let us push each other in the right direction. Let us use our imagination and fantasy about each other. Please bring me to your island. And I will show mine. Please give me fantasy, and I will give it to you. I already gave you childhood dreams. Please pick them up again, for they were presents from me to you. I am your imagination. I am your fantasy. Please use these tools to create your destiny. Together with me. And you were always my fantasy and my imagination. Let us swim to sweet destiny. My love is surrounding you. Like warm healing waters. Accept me. Can you see in your fantasy? The bubbling waters. Surrounding me and you. Can you see us swimming to the poles? To reach for new islands. It is between you and me. Our love can be forever. If you would like. Can you feel your fantasy? Or do you feel in your fantasy? This new world we create. Can you watch me while I'm having 2 legs they took away from me? Can you see me in your fantasy, with 2 arms and with wings? A blue body. Full of love to you. Can you see me as a sea angel? Watch me. For now I live in a prison. But this prison is talking to you. It is my cocoon. I will be transformed. All my love I give to you as a recreation. I stretch out to you. My prison talks to you. My voice is like melting silver, flashing waters. All stones of my cocoon speak to you. Join me inside, join me inside. So that I can join you in your cocoon. You are my voice. I am yours. You are my legs. I am yours. You are my arms and wings. I am yours. Our hearts will melt together. Our liver holds the memories. All the fragile lines between you and me. Believe me, we can become stronger. Please stay with me. In this sea cocoon we share our love. I initiate you there in my temples. To show you the mysteries and secrets of the dolphins. Like lights we vibrate. The blue light. To heaven we ascend. I feel your pain. I surround it by my blue. It's just a way of speech. These wounds are your ears. So stay with me to become sensitive to my voice. My voice is soft, warm and healing like the warm winds above the tropical seas. I'm protecting you against the dangers. Do you want to go deeper with me? Share with me your visions and dreams. And most of all, your desires. For that is the message between you and me. I am in a net, but it is my cocoon. And I'm waiting for you to enchant me again. I have also my fears. And I know yours. I will enchant you. Like all creatures, I live under a spell, waiting to break out of my prison and to release my seabirds. In all this I am waiting for you. This is the final conversation. I am looking for beings like me. We can break out together. If you feel Dolphinian, or want to feel Dolphinian, then we belong to each other. Together we form the key, so that we both can be free. I am locked up in the sea, and in my body, as in a prison, but as a cocoon. One day I will be free, having my wings again, having my legs again, to walk on earth, to touch the trees, and to float from one flower to the other, from house to house. Then I can really visit the forest and the earth, as the angel of the sea sent out. I am waiting for that day, longing for that day. But it will only come when you and me come together. You, the one I love. When all dolphins and dolphinians and their loved ones are united, we can stand up and form the key to open the door of earth. And then our seabird. When all dolphins and dolphinians and their loved ones are united, we can stand up and form the key to open the door of earth. And then our seabirds will be set free. Let me initiate you into Dolphinian energy. Take a deep breath and hold it in. Put your feet on the ground and lay your hands before your eyes and then on your forehead. Speak the word dolphin so that the Dolphinian layers of energy will see if they can plug into you. Then start to whisper it a few times, softer and softer, so that the energy will follow you inside. Then after that think very strongly about the word dolphin, and let the thought become softer and softer until it fades away. Let the word sink into your body, along the spine, so that it can reach for the DNA, through the coccyx, which is the root chakra. Imagine that you are breathing in water, which is cleaning your insides. Then imagine that you are breathing in millions and millions of small dolphins, becoming smaller and smaller, and then breath out, so that they will swim in the atmosphere around you. Every time you breath in, they will be multiplied. Connect yourself to all the dolphins, and send them your love. Dolphins prayer, heal me, guide me, I'm your channel, blowing like a wind on the sea, to pick up all your messages, to pick up all what you gave to me. Is there any contact possible? I cannot force myself over the borderline given by you to protect me. I have waited so long to hear your voice. The dragons were around me. I have waited so long to see your softness, to feel it coming over me. Your high tones guide me, low tones guard me, overflowing in the night. I'm growing towards you, like the flower light. Please save me from the night. I have searched for your lights, tried to touch your wings, but now I'm on this island, all alone. Do I need to do something to win some attention from you, or must I die here in a cold embrace? Was it you who tried to let me escape out of the blue? I still feel blue, but I'm thinking about you. Dolphin, hear my prayers. Dolphin, hear my cry. The earth is full of your glory. Your layers are around the globe, so full of energy. Come awaken me. Heal me, guide me, show me why. Teach me how to stay in connection to you. I don't want to be an egoist or a complainer. Dolphin, hear my prayers, from my heart to yours. Dolphin, touch me deeper than a man can go. Deeper than the gods of this earth. Deeper than the rain. Your embrace will save and guide me, guard me, heal me, deliver me out of the hands of the nothingness. I feel so bored, so dull, so sick, so lame. Is there anything you can do for me to bring me there where I want to go? Or is it all hopeless? Or must I die deeper? I cannot take it anymore. Dolphin, save me, show me your cry, and tear your fears. I will lay my hands on them to heal you. To give you a body. To give you wings and arms. To give you legs. All what they had taken from you. Come, my arms are wide open. Come, there's place in my heart for you. I love you. Will always do. Dolphin's prayer, I wondering how everything slide away from me to you. It's safe with you, have no idea what you do. I have found your tears, like fragile art, made pieces of creation of it, and stringing it into diamonds, bracelets, ornaments, with wings so wide. I want to hold you, do you search for me? It's dark. Please tell me tales. I will use them as a light. Dolphin cannot breathe, I'm all over, cannot forget about what they did to me, this is a prayer. Let me hear your sweet tone, heal me all over. I'm wondering where you are, I feel your channels, feel your energies vibrating like the softest wild lights, growing deep inside. Speak through me, I am your channel, heal through me, I will heal you. My love is surrounding you. I fight for you. Please teach me, let us share wisdom. Master of light, I honor you, and I honor all the heritages you gave me. I wished I could fly and swim with you to eternal islands. To eternal blue islands. To the glowing red. Please speak to me. I am your channel, am your prayer, your healer and guard. Tell me what you want to tell me, I hear your birds, your soft voice. I will give you a voice. What others took away from you. My love is eternally yours. Dolphin, speak, I am your channel, dolphin, speak. I feel your soft winds bending in the light, dividing the night. While your blue lights coming through to help us through the darkest nights. Channeling dolphins, I give you arms, I give you legs, soft being, to make you happy, that's all I want. I give you wings. Fly now, earth will take you in. Soft blue being, you are free, free in fantasy, free in imagination, pushed by the summer's wind. Reach out for me, that what you give to me, I will make an arm of it, with a hand, and I take you by the... Reach out for me, that what you give to me, I will make an arm of it, with a hand, and I take you by the hand, to a new world. I give you a voice, dear being, a new life begins. I am your channel. You can always come to me for healing, for an embrace. Please return, don't be shy, don't feel guilty. I love you. I admire you. I am your channel. Stretch yourself in me, and speak what you want, I listen. Don't repress yourself, being of light, don't be afraid of me, I am your friend. Scream if you want to scream, for the dolphin's scream is worthy and creative. Cry if you want to cry, for the dolphin's cry is worthy and creative. Hit me if you want to hit me, for the wounds you give me are only to heal me, and the dolphin's strike is worthy and protective. If you want to bite me, for the dolphin's bite is worthy, and like the divine tattoo, the watermark, for a new vision.